Hey Cancer, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's go. All right, Cancer, welcome in. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, welcome into your weekly reading. This is also if Cancer is your Venus sign. All right, so Tiana Louise, intuitive coach, consultant, here to take a look at what's going on in your connection this week. And here's the deal. There is a full moon lunar eclipse happening on the Cancer Capricorn axis, July 4th and 5th, depending on where you live. It'll be on one of those days. So I wanted to take this opportunity, Cancer, to start off this reading looking at what specific lessons are being highlighted for you as a result of these eclipse energies that are occurring. Even though it's occurring in Capricorn, it's still on the Capricorn Cancer axis. So a little bit of a heightened message for you here. So what lessons are available for you in your connection this week, no matter what's occurring? What is Spirit wanting you to take a look at? From Spirit with love. Signs, right? Really paying attention to signs this week. It's going to be a big deal. This is the number 50 card. 5 plus 0 is 5. So to me, this is representing change, right? Signs pointing you toward change, because to me, 5s represent change. They represent rebuilding after conflict, after having suffered some sort of loss, right? And so with these signs coming from Spirit with love, this is telling me you're going to be receiving a lot of signs pointing you in a new direction possibly, but definitely offering you some encouragement. And so learning to recognize these signs. And since we have a bird on this card, could be, birds. Maybe you're noticing the birds chirping. Maybe birds, particular kinds of birds, are starting to fly into your experience more this week. Or just, things having to do with nature, feathers, coins, numbers. Maybe you'll start seeing 5s or the number 50. But for you, Spirit definitely wants you to pay attention, special close attention to whatever signs come into your experience this week. And like I said, it's going to help you, it's going to help push you forward, help lift your spirits, help encourage you at this time, because there's a need to detach from drama. This card actually says, look up. What this is saying to me, Cancer, is that you've kind of been down in the dumps lately, right? And Spirit wants you to know that you are loved. Spirit has your back. Your guides are with you. So they're going to amp up your signs this week, but you're going to have to look up from your troubles in order to really see them, right? Otherwise, you might miss them. And then here's the deal. Yep. Look at that. Boom, 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 bam. Review and reflection. Wow, time out needed. And look at that on that card. That's a full moon right there. So this is the perfect time for you to step back from everything, really take a breather, right? Get your head, or lift your head to the clouds, to the heavens, right? To really see what's going on, to try to find a new perspective. This is card number 2. 2s to me represent balance, right? Harmony. Also choices, looking at choices that we've made, the cause and effect of those choices, really allowing this full moon lunar eclipse energy to illuminate for us the places that we may want to change, heal, do something different around, and then understanding that Spirit has our back and is sending us messages to show us how to do that, right? This is your invitation to, no matter what is occurring, keep shining. Shine on, right? So what I want to do first is get some tarot cards to clarify these energies, right? Because it looks like you've been going through some things, Cancer. Okay. So what's up in this connection that has you going through this period of feeling conflicted, feeling bogged down in the pit of drama, and being so distracted that you may be missing out on signs that Spirit is sending you? Okay, yeah, look. So you're just going through an awakening. Don't you love how casually I say that? Oh, you're just going through an awakening. No biggie, no big deal. You're just awakening. You're just going through one of the most, impactful, oftentimes difficult and challenging situations that can occur on a spiritual level. You're just changing. You're just transforming. You're just shifting between the polarities of your life, the light and the dark, right? The duality of things, seeing things maybe for the first time in a new perspective. Everything's just shifting. No biggie. Yeah. And as a result of that, as a result of you awakening to new perspectives and new life, things are having to literally die in order to be rebirthed and transformed, right? Yeah, so these are some heavy energies here, okay? And look at that, Queen of Swords. Yeah, stepping into the full power of your truth, right? That's what Queen of Swords is about. Straight, no chaser. That's what I call the Queen of Swords. She is the straight, no chaser queen, okay? In her shadow side, she is sharp-tongued, cutting with her words. She can slice you and dice you with her tongue. Literally, this is understanding, though, for you right now that literally life and death lies in the power of your own tongue. So being mindful of how you're speaking over yourself, over your connection, over those around you, over your circumstances. And as a result of that, being mindful of how you're thinking about it too, right? Not every thought deserves to come off your lips at this time, right? You have to die to some old ways of being in order to be transformed and step into this new person who you are awakening to, right? Now, let's look at how this relates to the connection. What does this have to do with the connection right now? What do these lessons have to do with the connection? So we're going to do this Twin Flame Oracle, and I'm also going to pull from my Signs from Spirit Love Oracle deck, because we had signs come out, so I want to see what signs you've been receiving and what they've been pointing to. So what does this have to do, all of these lessons, this transformation, this awakening, have to do with, look, it's elevating you, starting to understand this connection on a higher level, from a fifth dimension level, and really accepting that that's where it mostly exists, right? It may not be existing in the physical as much as it is here, but this is where all the work gets done on yourself and your person, right? Fifth dimension. In fifth dimension, it's not like literally leaving and going to another planet, although, on some levels that could be if you're into like astro traveling or, things like that. Depends on what you're into. But at its most basic level, there's the third dimension, what we see, what we touch, what we taste, what we smell, our physical world. And then the fifth dimension is our, everything that's happening inside of us, our mental and emotional bodies. There's so much power that lies in that place, in that metaphysical space. And that's what the fifth dimension is, right? Being able to really tune into the fact that that world is actually more quote unquote real than the world that we open our eyes to and look at every day, right? The world that we open our eyes to and look at every day is just a reflection of what we've already created from within, right? It's just the illusion that we are, and I don't want to say illusion because it is very much real. Like, obviously I can knock on this desk, I can touch it, right? But it's just the creation of what, was within us, right? So it's kind of like old news because it's already been created. In the fifth dimension, we're already on to the creation of the future, of the next thing, of the thing that we cannot see yet, right? So that's where Spirit is elevating you to. Now here's the deal. Moving out of the third into the fourth and fifth and the higher dimensions. It's not always the most comfortable process because it requires a shedding of everything that we've, come to know about ourselves, about other people, about the world in general, how things operate, right? It can make you feel like you're going a little bit crazy, like you really don't know anything. And here's the truth, you don't, right? And the more you start to accept that you know nothing, the more you can start to be comfortable with being nothing, really, right? And the more you move into that kind of energy, the higher you can go into the fifth dimension, the freer you become. All right, so let's pull a sign card here. Yeah, look, we have the rocket ship voyage. This is about ascension, going up, 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 up. Yep, you're moving on to a new level, a new layer of this journey. Okay, this is what's happening in the connection right now. So things may feel out of sorts, quite possibly. Right? Looks like they do. Look at that. Tower energy, destruction. Goes right with the death. Things are literally being torn down. Everything you thought you knew, the familiar, the status quo, no more. Doesn't exist for you. You're going somewhere new. It's a good thing. Allow it to happen. Don't resist it. Even if it feels scary, even if it feels like, you may lose yourself and lose this connection. Nothing's ever truly lost anyway, right? Things just shift and transform. So let's get another sign. Yeah, I have the snake here. This is forbidden territory. That's very interesting. What I'm picking up on this is like, this is something you're afraid to touch because you don't know what it leads to. You may be questioning this whole journey. I get a lot of people who are concerned about, oh my God, is this in alignment with quote unquote God? Is this like devil energy? No. This brings you closer to the divine. This brings you into alignment with the universe, but it can be dark. Yeah, it can feel very dark. Death, it takes you into your shadow. It brings out the darkness within you so that it can be exposed to the light, right? Light cannot exist without dark. Dark cannot exist without light. And you have to be willing to explore all of that. And it's the digging up of that allows you to ascend higher, because it's like you're shedding, the layers of baggage, the layers of programming, the layers of negative, false beliefs. Okay? So I want to clarify these energies though. First, I want to see why this snake, why this forbidden is here. I feel like you're afraid of being bitten, right? And getting some poisonous energy. It's like, oh my God, it feels so uncomfortable. And it's meant to literally have you shed skin like a snake, okay? So let's see. What is the snake here to teach you? What is this energy all about? Yeah, Six of Cups, right? It's like you you fear this connection not coming back, because I feel like in this awakening, moving into the fifth dimension, you're moving into that place on the journey where you start to really accept that the journey is not about another person. It's not about a connection. You start to become more willing to let it go. You're not as tied to it being, remaining intact. You're willing to allow yourself to let it die, right? And sometimes there's a lot of drama and conflict and chaos that happens around that. But the more you really think about it, you recognize, you can't even deny that it's the place where you're supposed to be, that it's actually the place that, union can occur. But in your mind, union is like, no, union is me with another person. Like, you mean to tell me this is like just something that lives energetically? Yes, the twin flame journey, these soul connections, whatever you want to call it, it's an energy more than anything, okay? And so then we begin to let go of this notion of, always constantly visualizing, reminiscing, thinking on how it was, how it could be, how it may be. We move out of these reconciliation energies, but that feels scary because then it feels like we're totally letting it go. No, you're just awakening to a new level of the journey. You're moving into the higher dimensions of the connection, and that propels you so far forward, trust me. And it relieves you of a lot of stress, fear, and anxiety, which is actually what has to occur if this were to ever take place in the physical. That's just the reality of it, okay? Let's get some more. Yeah, Eight of Swords, right? This is about letting the confusion go, letting the feeling of being powerless, helpless, being in despair. That's all self-fulfilling prophecy, number one, and it's all made up. It's not real, right? And I know you're like, no, what do you mean it's not real? I really do feel that way. No, I got it. But if you look at this card in the traditional tarot deck, you can see on the card she's loosely bound, right? She's loosely bound and could actually free herself at any given time if she really wanted to, but it would require her taking her blinders off, stepping out of that murky, muddy water of her emotions and looking up into the air, using more of her logical thought versus her feeling thought, moving out of her feelings. Because if she were to stay there in her feelings right now are wrapped in fear, okay? Fear of the unknown and uncertainty. And that's what, feeling trapped and confused is about. So really having to decide and choose to move yourself out of that energy. Look, we have the moon here, right? And that's what the moon represents, fear and illusion. It's not real. It's not, but it does feel like it, right? And so there's some work that has to be done in order to move out of that. And that's where this fifth dimension and awakening lives. And then there comes a point, like even with the Eight of Swords energy, sometimes you just have to make a choice. You have to go with your gut and make a choice, even at the risk of it being the wrong choice. But here's the deal. There's no such thing as the wrong choice. There's just either making a choice or not making a choice. And the only time you can go wrong is in not making a choice, because not making a choice is still a choice, but it yields, no results. There's no creation in that because you didn't choose. You just allowed whatever happened to happen. And most often when you don't make a choice, you don't take action. So you just end up staying trapped and stuck. Okay? When you move, you learn some things, you experience some things, and then you can make adjustments. Okay? So, what do you need for that to happen? You need to be able to give yourself a break. Four of Swords. This has been a dominant energy coming out a lot for many of the signs this week. Give it to the stars. You know, look up, right? That has been a theme for your reading, looking up. Things are looking up, whether you can see it or not, right? And things are looking up because you are giving it up, but not giving up like quitting, giving up like surrendering. Okay? So here's the deal, Cancer. Ooh. What I see coming out for you this week with these eclipse energies is you going into your full Cancerian mode of feeling, right? And we had your card pop out, right? We had, this is you. This is you. So, you know, going into those emotions may not be the thing that serves you the most right now because you've been there for a while. It's time to step into your Queen of Swords energy. And that's what's going to help propel you forward because things are looking up. Now, what I want to do is jump on over to the extended because we talked a lot about you and we talked about the connection, but now I want to see where your person actually is. How are they being affected by all of this? What's going on with them? And what choices and decisions do they want to make? Like, are they moving here into this fifth dimension with you? Where are they at? Let's see. So go ahead and jump on over to the extended. You can find the link for that if that is what you want to do down below in the description box. And before you do that though, make sure you like this video, share the video, right? Don't keep these messages to yourself. Share them out and subscribe to my channel so we can keep connecting. I'll see you in the extended. Peace.